Here's some more football scores from the past week. Titans beat the Lions in overtime, 44-41. Giants over the Colts, 22-17 in overtime as well. Jets over the Dolphins, 23-20. And in the upset, Vikings beat the 49ers, 24-13. And in college football, number 4, Florida State over Clemson, 49-37. Number 5, Georgia over Vanderbilt, 48-3. And number 7, South Carolina versus Missouri, 31-10. You are now listening to Sports Unplugged with Leon Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. Boning, a.k.a. Young Manning. And by the way, I'm glad you read that Florida State score. I like them. I got them winning the national championship.
So do a lot of people.
I got them in Alabama.
Okay, cool. You think that. Go ahead.
Who you got?
Huh?
Who do you have?
Not Florida State.
Why not? Who's going to beat them?
Because Florida State's going to beat themselves. Don't even worry about it.
Okay.
It's coming.
All right.
It's like
you might have a point there.
It's like Oklahoma. Even though Oklahoma already dropped the ball,
yeah,
Oklahoma does it every year. Florida State's going to do the same thing. I ain't worried about Florida State.
All right. Let's go back to the NFL. Some other games that we didn't get a chance to talk about. Of course, we talked about the Ravens and New England Patriots.
Atlanta Falcons are for real.
I'm not ready yet.
Jeez, man.
I'm not ready, brother. You beat the Chargers. The Chargers are...
They were 2-0.
Hey, listen. Now, Mr. Ahmed Gordon is the same dude as, we're 2 weeks in. Don't get excited. We're 2 weeks in. You know, the Chargers are Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We'll be talking about the only thing they haven't done this year is start out super terrible like they normally do, then try to make it up coming up in the end of the year. They're actually 2-1.
Yes.
I'm not ready to believe in the Falcons yet. They might win the NFC South.
Okay. I'm not saying that. Did I say they're going to win the Super Bowl? I didn't say they're going to win the Super Bowl. I said.
You said they're for real.
They're for real.
Well, what's for real?
For real. They can compete for it.
Right, because the Saints are down this year.
Like I said, they would be.
And the other two teams in the NFC South don't matter.
I mean, because, we probably didn't talk about this. I'm going to see how he plays, how he bounces back.
They don't matter.
Because I want to talk about Cam Newton. Because,
hey, I seen a little eotch in him. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Neither does Steve Smith. We'll talk about that later.
I don't like that.
We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, okay. So, this is what
the Falcons in charge. Or no, you go ahead.
No, I want to talk about the whole helmet to helmet rule. Now, in the case of protecting a quarterback, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
In the case of protecting a defenseless receiver, I get it when in the air.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a play in the game last night, and call me crazy. It was late in the game, and I understand that these are replacement refs, and I understand that their interpretations of the rules may be on par with the regular refs, but them managing the speed of the game is a lot different. They're not used to seeing players move around that fast. I'm not going to say the refs don't know the rule book. It's just the speed of the game that they're having problems with. It was a bang-bang play. Tom Brady threw a slant to Deion Branch, who they got off the couch to come back and play some football.
Right.
He catches it. He has a cornerback like slightly draped on him who he's beat on the coverage, and Ed Reed is coming in for the kill shot.
Right.
I get it. It's football. Ed Reed had launched. He had took off. Deion Branch sees Ed Reed coming. And the way Ed Reed was going, he would have hit him dead in his chest, like in his midsection with a shoulder pad. But Deion Branch curls into a tiny little ball. When he curls, his helmet comes down to the level that Ed Reed is, and Ed Reed goes helmet to helmet with him. Now, Ed Reed, truly apologetic, helped him up, slapped him on the rump and said, look, great catch, you know what I'm saying, and was a little frustrated. But I know at the same time as a defensive player, he was like, well, geez, man, like I lose my intimidation factor because if he stays free and clear, if he stays up, I blast him in his midsection. But when he compacts himself, I went helmet to helmet. So I wasn't aiming for his helmet.
Right.
That's just what happened. It's not like the Joe Mays hit on Matt Schaub, where he literally explodes into him, rips the guy's helmet off, and loses a piece of his ear in the process.
Right.
It's not like that. They got to do something about that rule because at the end of the day, when you play safety, your main job is you want to hit a receiver where he thinks about coming across the middle for that play.
I mean, that's what the defensive players, ever since they've been on the whole, since 2010, where they've been really on the whole helmet-to-helmet hitting. The thing about it is what most defensive players have been saying is that we can't control sometimes where the offensive player moves his head.
Right.
And speaking from experience on this one, I remember back in high school when I was concussed as
Somebody let your ass.
I was a defensive player, okay, and I went in for the tackle. Now the guy I was going up against, he was a low. We were about the same size, but he was the running back.
Jesus.
Exactly. All right. So when I went my head down, like you said, I'm trying to go square up.
Wing him. Chicken wing him. Wing him out.
Shoulder pad right in the stomach.
Right in his gut.
That man got low.
Pad level.
And we went helmet to helmet. We
Clack.
both fell, hit the ground. He got up, ran back to the huddle. I got up.
And counted the birds.
And couldn't remember my name.
Who are you? I'm Batman. What is it? It's Thursday.
The best part about it is when we came to the line for the next play, I looked at my teammate, my other defensive lineman, and said, "Hey, man, what play are we running, dog?" I looked at him just like, hey.
It was a Snickers commercial.
Hey, man.
Not going anywhere for a little while?
Dog, I looked at him, and I was straight.
Bell was wrong.
I was done.
And that's another thing, too.
I was saying it. He moved his head.
The same doesn't apply for running backs. Like somebody like Trent Rich, ask Kirk Coleman, where's that rule at where he got decapitated last week? They didn't say, okay, Trent Richardson penalty, helmet to helmet on Kirk Coleman. And he initiated that punishment.
And he led with his head.
He led with his head. So now if Kirk Coleman got a running start, came flying in and cracked him helmet to helmet, he gets the penalty call on him. But Trent Richardson turned the corner and was like, dinner. Yeah. I'm going to hurt him. And Trent Richardson is a low.
Yeah.
You know, you got somebody like Michael Bush coming through the line. As a linebacker, I'm just going to let him run through my chest.
It makes it very hard for the defensive players to do their job, to be aggressive on defense, to aggressively tackle anybody. Now, there are certain instances where I'm like, what are you doing? Right. You are literally launching your body.
Mays. The play against the Houston Texans where the linebacker from Denver, I think his name was Joel Mays, he launched in the Matt Schaub. The ball was gone, and he tried to decapitate Matt Schaub.
Plant and jump.
I get that one.
You can't do it.
As soon as the helmet came off, I was just like, when Matt Schaub moves his hand, I just don't want to see a space there because I'm going to throw up. That's right up there with Joe Theismann leg breaking. When Lawrence said, I said, please, when he moves his hands, because he covered his face.
Right.
I said, please, God, don't let this man, like the face mask, be done ripped his nose or something off because I'm going to throw up on my child who was sitting right in front of me at the time. But I get those hits. I get that. I get going at the quarterback knees.
Right.
Well, when I found out he got a piece of his ear ripped off, I'm like, wow, the ear cup snatched his ear off.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. But that play, like, sometimes I feel like the defensive guys are getting a bad shake because if a running back comes around the corner with a head of steam and he's going to try to punish the defensive back, you won't get a helmet-to-helmet call there.
No. I mean, the thing about it also when you watch these games, the replacement refs, as the thing is, it's not so much the rules or the interpretation of the rules for them. It's the fact that they don't know where to spot the ball. They don't know, they're scared to throw the flag when it comes to skirmishes. You know how many times I've seen like little fights break out, and I'm like, I'm sitting here like in last night's game, Chris Collinsworth has been like 6 in the first 7 minutes. What are we doing?
Right.
Just throw the flag and calm everybody down.
Right.
You give somebody a personal foul or unsportsmanlike conduct, then they chill out because that's 15 yards.
Meanwhile, Harbaugh got a personal foul called on him late in the game on the line. He was trying to call a timeout. And he was yelling at the ref come up, and they threw a flag.
Well, you know what happened? The reason why they did that because the league sent out that memo. You can't talk to the refs.
I'm like that. They gotta get these guys. They gotta get them back.
They gotta
get Ed Hockey League. First of all, players don't talk crazy Ed Hockey League because you might get your ass whooped. Because Ed Hockey League is a beast on that bench.
I'm telling you this right now. If they bring the regular refs back and the regular ref throws the flag, I would tell your player be like, man, good call, bro.
I'm glad you're back, brother.
Man, Yeah, hug it out and everything, man.
Speaking of the Texans and Broncos, the Texans win that game. And seeing that yesterday, they looked like a really complete team. They ran the ball well. Schaub went crazy throwing the ball, 17-30, 290 yards, 4 TDs. Arian Foster, 25 catches for 105 yards. They looked real. Is it that they look really, really good, or the Broncos look bad?
Let's remember this is the team that won the AFC South last year.
That's not hard to do.
I'm just saying.
In the past couple of years, let's be honest.
I know.
It's not hard to do, so I don't give them a lot of kudos for winning the AFC South.
Here's the thing. Their MO was, this is the year, and they'd always tail off. Or
the Dallas Cowboys of the AFC.
Or Andre Johnson would get hurt. Matt Schaub would get hurt, and Arian Foster would
be normal.
Exactly. And so now, even though Andre Johnson did get hurt and Matt Schaub did get hurt, they still made the playoffs last year. Look, if they have all their pieces together, if everyone stays healthy, this team can win the Super Bowl. They can win the whole thing.
And they're not missing their pass rusher that they let go.
No, but that's why they let him go. That's why they let him go. We're not going to pay you because our defense is stacked.
Secondary is very good.
Because when they got him, and they built around him. And they built around him so damn well.
And put depth in there so that they're good. Now, are the Broncos, they're a good team. Peyton Manning threw the ball 52 times yesterday.
They can't do that. They can't do that, man. You can't do that.
McGahee had 12 carries for 36 yards.
You can't work this man like that. This man is coming off of 4 back surgeries, 4 neck surgeries. His arm ain't all the way there yet. Now, I actually think that his arm will get stronger as the year goes on, but I don't think that the regimen should be for him to throw 52 times a game for his arm to get back to where it needs to be. I don't think he'll get back to, Peyton from 5-6 years ago, but I think it won't be, you won't see the ball look so crazy coming out of his, I think he'll throw better balls on a more consistent basis.
Okay.
The Broncos will be all right. Yeah. The Broncos will be all right, especially out in the AFC West. Yeah. I still think they'll make the playoffs. Well, but the Houston Texans, they just did a good team.
Let's keep talking about the AFC West.
Well, actually, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get to this break.
We're gonna get to this break. All right, when we come back, we're gonna talk about the AFC West and how the Chiefs upset the New Orleans Saints. Are the Saints in trouble this year?
Yeah, we gotta talk about them.
And also, Michael Vick took a beating. They threw him a beating.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about how he got mollywopped, and he was trying to stay in the pocket and throw the ball. And are the Vikings a threat in the NFC North after their win against the 49ers? It's all coming up next on Sports Unplugged, right here with Big Mad and myself, the Destined Legend, Leon Rogers. Brought to you by Wingstop. Now let's get into some more music. What we got on deck?
Man, I don't know. I'm actually trying to find a song right now. Keep talking.
All right, man. We'll do this while